everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of season 2 of the ADOS podcast. Please remember to like us on our Facebook page at the ADOS podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at the ADOS podcast. We're on Instagram at the ADOS podcast. We're on Apple Music now. We're on Spotify now. We're on every major platform. And it's the same tag, the ADOS podcast. Please give us a like, give us a follow, share our content. We're doing a lot of great things. I have with me my co-host, Christian.
How you guys doing? Welcome to season 2, episode 2. Please like and subscribe.
And we have with me my brother, Representative John Thompson, newly elected Minnesota House of Representative member. Brother John, say what up to the people, man.
What's up, y'all? How you doing? John Thompson, House District 67A, which covers most of the east side of St. Paul. Honored to be here today.
Let's just get right into it. Brother Thompson, how does it feel to be a newly elected Minnesota House of Representative member?
You know, it feels good, man, to be able to finally, sit in a space where you could actually effectively make change on a broader scale with a diverse body of people. Now, I mean, you know, do the people really want to work with you know, the Democrats being in the majority? Is we'll see. It's become almost like, hey, let me have a Mountain Dew. Excuse me. It just becomes a hassle trying to get things done. You know, we are the only divided legislation in the United States right now, man. The state of Minnesota. So it feels good, though, man. To be honest, that was to answer your question. It feels good to finally be able to, like, everything that I want to say, I can say it on the floor of the state capitol right now. You know, without being called angry black man, because I'm not angry now. I'm here. I get the keys to the car. So I'm just ready to drive some good legislation, man.
I like what you said, that you're not angry anymore. You're here.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. So how and I love the fact that you turned that previous anger that you had, you know, and you turned it into something positive, and you used it to motivate you to run for office. What was that process like for you? Just, you know, stepping out there saying, I'm running for Minnesota, you know, House of Representative 67A. I don't have any political background or political experience. I don't need that. I'm going to be the voice of the people. What was that process like for you?
I was determined to win, man. I was determined to win this race and focus. During the campaign trail, there was a lot of things that were like thrown in my path, man, to try to like, not discourage me, but try to like, you know, some people would give up, cave in, but I know I had a calling over my life, you know, and I know what I'm called to do. And that's definitely be a voice for the people, my people, black people. I don't have to say, you know, too many different things. I'm not a minority. I'm not a person of color. I'm not BIPOC, black. So for black people, you know, Philando being murdered. You know, God does things for a reason, man, and here I am. You know, here I am. I know my friend, man. I know for a fact Philando is up there, man, like smiling at some of the obstacles I had to go through to get him, man. But he was watching over me too, by the way. Like he's here in this room with me right now.
And I like what you said. First, I want to congratulate you on doing that and winning that office seat and being on the east side. I used to live on the east side of St. Paul, so that representation to see is beautiful. I really love what you said about, you know, you're not in this category, you're not in this category, you're black. So could you talk about being black on the east side of St. Paul?
Being black in the state of Minnesota sucks. You know, like we have the worst disparities in the nation. We don't own a thing, man. We don't own homes. We don't have any small businesses. Man, we don't have a bowling alley. We don't have a skating rink. We don't have we don't own nothing. We don't have nothing that we don't have a barbecue joint. You know what I mean? We don't have nothing, man. You go to states like like Atlanta or Chicago, or even hell, Wisconsin. Man, they have little pockets where everything's black, everything we want. Kids like to skate to their type of music, not the music they play at the little skating rink in North St. Paul. We want stuff. We don't have anything. So you asked me to be Black Achievement Gap when it comes to our kids. Right now, distance learning sucks. They used to beat our ancestors for learning. Now they call it an achievement gap. And another thing is, a lot of people moved here to Minnesota because Minnesota has some of the best schools. Minnesota has some of the best conditions. I mean, the racism existed here, but it didn't suck to live here. But Black people would never came here. I can remember a migration of Black people coming to Minnesota in the 80s and 90s because of how good it was. Now it sucks, man. Like, and anytime you try to have a conversation about advancing Black people, we got to talk about it. We got to negotiate it. We'll give you this, but you got to take some of this away. You can't say Black. You got to say BIPOC.
I was just gonna say that, brother. Most often, when it comes to providing resources to Black folks, they're willing to do it as long as they can include other folks with it. It's never just we gonna do something for just Black people. It's always we can do something for people of color. And I cringe when I hear people say BIPOC or people of color. I really do cringe at that, or minority, because to me that means, all right, we're gonna give out these resources and everybody gonna get it, and Black people gonna go last. Black people gonna get it last. That's what that means to me when I hear BIPOC, when I hear minority. It means everybody gonna get something and Black people gonna get what's left.
Hey, bro, we were colored. We were nigger, Negro. Look at your granddad's birth certificate. It probably say colored or Negro. Now in 2021, we're persons of color or BIPOC. Every title they come up with for us is a way to leave us out of the resources, man.
It's actually to give it.
Could be a woman.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that, John. I'm sorry about that. I just had to go in because I was like, it's actually more to it than just that. It's ownership, it's entitlement, and it's taking our identity away. So I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I had to get that in.
Hey, bro, we've been having stuff taken away from us, and we've been doing without for as long as I've been on this earth. We've always gotten the chillings. We've always gotten the chillings,
and some of us still eating it to this day.
When I see the Patriots like storm the U.S. Capitol and say, like, we want our country back, I always ask, what have you lost? Like, what do you want back? Because y'all ain't lost nothing. Really, so, are you that serious about Donald Trump? Because that's all you're losing. And so now, I mean, Donald Trump made it okay for racist folks to come out and call themselves patriots. And now if you see slowly but surely, they're crawling back into their turtle shell. Some of the legislators that were there are backtracking on a lot of the statements they said. We don't support Donald Trump. Now that we know who you are, we don't support this, and we don't what you did. All 4 years you did. The back the blue, the Blue Lives Matter, the patriotic flags. And, for 4 years, man, we watched this cult. We watched this cult like come out of the closet and say it's okay to be a racist white person, right? I ran into him a couple of times. And you see me run into him in Hugo, Minnesota, man. The people spitting at us and calling us niggers and go home. And this is not the 70s. I'm not my ancestor. I'm not my grandmother. I am not turning the other cheek. You don't get to tell me how to be tired of racism.
I like that you brought up Hugo. So I'm gonna provide a little context before we get into Hugo. Since you brought it up, we're gonna get into it if that's okay. You brought it up. So, Brother John Thompson went out there to Hugo along with some other folks. There was a lot of people out there actually. It was a whole group of folks to protest at the house of Bob Kroll in Hugo, Minnesota. That's where he resides. Bob Kroll is the the president, leader of the Minneapolis Police Union.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the context. Brother John, let us know? Oh, we lost you for a second on the video. You still there with us?
Yeah, I ain't going nowhere.
Okay.
I just didn't want y'all to hear me blowing my big snot.
Oh, you got to blow your nose. Oh, do your thing. Brother John was out there in Hugo. He was provided the opportunity to speak at the rally, and you said some things. You said a lot of things. You said a lot of things that people didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just get into it. What happened on that day?
You know, I had a guy come after me about this pinata, and he said he hit an epithet of a police officer's wife, and I said to him, I'd be very upset if I was that lady, man. I'm so tired of y'all talking about that pinata. He said, why? I said, I'd be so upset with y'all because that pinata don't look nothing like me. So you should be mad at the person who made the pinata. I hit this pinata, man, and it was like, John, you want to hit the pinata? And I'm, okay, cool. I'm trying to get candy out of the pinata. I'm not trying to I had no idea that I was going to get the backlash that I got from Hugo, Minnesota. But let's just say this, bro. When we show up to Hugo, Minnesota, like they don't show you that they're pushing black people and pushing the motorcycle riders off their bikes. The Washington County Sheriff is watching this, right? They're spitting at us. Go home, nigger. Okay, so if you look at this video, I'm not supposed to even be here on this program. Like, I was not, they had a program that was people scheduled to speak. If you listen to the person who introduced me, she says, well, he wasn't expecting to speak, but here's our candidate here for I just won a DFL endorsement too, by the way. And I'm looking at these people, man, out the corner of my eye. Now keep in mind, they are all strapped. They got guns, ARs, handguns, they're strapped. And so I'm yelling at the two guys. As a matter of fact, he contacted me. His name is Scott St. Croix, right? Mm-hmm. And Irving Rando. I'm gonna get back to that. I'm gonna circle back to that. But I'm yelling at those two right there, Scott St. Croix and Irving Rando. I know their names now because they contacted me. But I'm yelling at them because they were just like taunting me and spitting at me. Like, and they had the back the blue flag or something like that. And I'm like, stick that. If you don't support black people, you can stick that flag in your butt. I'm like, if Hugo don't support Black Lives, because here we're protesting somebody who y'all elevated to lieutenant. He has 57 complaints as a police officer, 11 lawsuits, and he just handcuffed a 15-year-old kid and football kicked him in the face. So that's why we're at his house. I'm protesting something that needs to be protested, right? I'm saying to the people, if you don't want him here, keep him here in Hugo. Give me a job where I can travel a half an hour away and kick the shit out of a white supremacist. And make his family suffer and turn his family into felons and don't have to have anything but my badge to back me up. You know what I mean? Give me that job. I'll work overtime. I work overtime. I work every day, 7 days a week. If I could just lock them up, make them body bags and hashtags, because that's what's happening in my community. That's what they're doing to black men. So give me that job. But back to Hugo. I'm not yelling at the Alpha News outlet that put this video together. They're good at like clipping and pasting and taking out stuff. They're not showing these racist patriots, right? And so, they caught me with I was served to the Republican Party on a platter because now it's the DFL House member is cursing and yelling and using and beating an epithet. Right? Like they made this out to be this Mayberry neighborhood and these two nice people that we're protesting. But in actuality, Liz Collins is complicit in Bob Kroll's antics also. Because I don't see you reporting nothing but, when Philando was murdered, they reported Philando had weed in the car. They didn't report the type of person he was, Bob Kroll, you keep your mouth shut. You'd have to make a statement about Philando. He wasn't murdered in Minneapolis. He was murdered in Falcon Heights by a St. Anthony officer patrolling Lauderdale. But Bob Kroll always has some dumb shit to say out of his mouth. Every time, like I can remember a kid in City Hall, downtown Minneapolis, getting ready to be charged with murder. So you know how they walk out of the room and they're gonna come back in there and tell him he's under arrest, and he's sticking himself in the neck with a fire. And the officers come in and shoot him. And Bob Kroll gets on the TV and says, if you look at the video, we actually saved his life. You ought to thank the officers. I said, you gonna like bullets save my life? I'm clearly have a mental break. This is the type of person that we're protesting. He's a racist white supremacist.
And this is beyond what happened with George Floyd. This is the same summer, right? This is last year. So this is beyond that. Y'all protesting this man's career.
His entire career.
Of raging havoc on our community.
Minneapolis elevated him. Like, bro, they reward bad behavior in Minneapolis when it comes to policing. Because this man has 11 successful lawsuits, 57 complaints, and none of them turned out any disciplinary action or accountability. None of them. As a matter of fact, out of all 57, I don't think one of them made it to anybody's office. But you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But he's promoted to sergeant, so show you the culture over there in Minneapolis. You see, he retired, by the way.
Yeah, I was just gonna bring that up. Now we're past that. You're elected now. You know, it's died down. It's been 6 months, 7 months since that video surfaced. I think it went viral. I think it was a couple 100,000 views. I know a lot of people were posting about it in various Facebook groups. A lot of people saw it. Bob Kroll is now retiring. I don't know if he did or not already. I know he announced that he was going to retire soon. What's the current environment like now? You said people still bring it up on the House floor. How do you feel about the situation now? Are you just past it?
Yeah, you got people like Kirk Dout, Drakowski, Eric Mortensen. They were trying to make a name, and I appreciate the actor coming back from the lunch one day. You know, I appreciate the actor, but in all actuality, man, yeah, they bring it up on the House floor. They use that as ammo to attack me, and I have yet to address it because I said what I said in Hugo, and then everything that I said about those people were proven when the Patriots these were the same Patriots, by the way, that stormed the U.S. Capitol. You know what I mean? Like, these are the same Patriots that said that the election was rigged, stolen from their cult leaders. These were the same people that I was yelling at. Now all of a sudden they're crawling back in their hole. And so these Republicans are using this video still as ammo to attack the Democratic Party. In all actuality, I'm still going to attack racism the same way, same passion, different lane. And so they didn't vote for me either. Like, these people who talk that crazy crap on the floor of the U.S. In session, they didn't vote for me. They didn't vote for me. The people of the East Side voted for me to be a voice for the people who need help here on the East Side. And so, like, bro, I don't entertain clowns because you become part of a circus. You know, so I don't have to entertain that. I said what I said, and then I had to apologize. If I had to do anything different about Hugo, Minnesota, man, to be honest with you, first of all, I would have never showed up to Bob Kroll's house. Second of all, I would never hit a pinata. I can see how that looks. I can see how that looks too. But for years, we've been in fear for our life. Let's be clear about something else too. I don't know if you know this, but some of the first protesters used to show up to our ancestors' house at burn crosses, set the whole church on fire, throw Molotov cocktails through windows. So we're doing what we learned from you. You're some of the most violent people on this earth, and you know it. So when we want to talk about showing up to people's houses and protesting, like, we learned that from you.
They will literally show up at people's homes, burn a cross in their front yard as a symbol to say, not even God can save you for what we're about to do to you. People used to lynch us and take pictures and send it across the country as a postcard, as a greeting for a holiday for their other family members. These are facts. This is the history of America. So I love that you said if you see us committing violence, look at yourself, because we learned it from you. We learned this behavior from you. I mean, we can take this back centuries. Colonialism, slavery. How do we get here in the first place? Those are all acts of violence and acts of crime. And those are all facts. So thank you for providing us with that insight and providing additional context around what happened in Hugo. We didn't get a chance to sit down and have a conversation after that. We talked on the phone, of course, but we never got to, talk about this on the podcast, and we've been meaning to do it. So I'm glad we were actually able to wrap that up. Moving forward now, if Christian don't have any more questions about that, I want to talk about some budget stuff and some other legislative things that's happening right now at the Capitol.
Yeah, before we get into budget, you are a powerful brother, and I just want you to know that. To all of our viewers and listeners, just know how powerful our voices are. Elijah, that includes you too, because you're also, you joined the 1%ers as well. And I think we need a narrative change to get out of the mindset that it's a 1%er group. Whereas more of us at these House seats, it's more of us at these municipal seats, it's more of us involved in the process to fixing systemic issues. And one thing, Elijah, that you mentioned, that you both actually mentioned when we were talking about, not being liked because of our color. If they don't like us because of our color, do we expect them to like us for what we're saying? Because if you don't like someone based on how they look, you're not going to like anything that comes out of their mouth. So it takes trailblazers like ourselves.
We've been labeled.
Mm-hmm.
A Christian, any black man historically who's ever stood up and said, "I'm sick of racism," check I can go back. I don't know, not one. They were labeled troublemakers, angry Negroes. Now we call domestic. They always had a name for us. Now we're domestic terrorists. I don't have to apologize for being black. White people want to take responsibility for everything except racism. Everything except racism. Why white people calling me racist? How the hell am I racist? How can I be racist? I can't even afford to be racist. My pockets don't. You know what I mean? I can't
going into classism now.
No.
You know what? That's serious though.
I get it. Like right now, what's being said to me in these chats. I said the Patriots stormed the Capitol. Now some of the same racist people said those weren't patriots. Oh, you weren't a part of this group just 2-3 months ago. Now all of a sudden they're crawling back into their doggone turtle shell because their cult leader has left. Nobody stole nothing from y'all. Y'all had a 4-year run. Now you can take your racist self back to the barn, back to the farm. Everything that I said in Hugo, Minnesota, I'm doing right now. And if y'all Google John Thompson, I said I'd be here in 2016. It's recorded on tape at the state capitol. Oh, I promise you, if you Google John Thompson from 2016 out of a blue True Religion jacket, I'm standing on the floor of the state capitol with crutches. And I said to them, we're going to put people in place to come after them, cease and replace you. Here I am. Everything I said in Hugo, I'm doing right now. I wasn't lying. I wasn't yelling because I'm angry. I'm tired of being angry. I'm mad, man. Matter of fact, I'm mad. I'm ready to make a difference. How about that? I'm not angry no more. I'm mad. I'm ready to make a difference. And so y'all be mad about Hugo. Y'all be mad about anything that comes out of my mouth. But pardon my brash delivery, though. Pardon me, but I can remember what my mother went through, what my father went through, what my grandfather went through, and how they had to work 3-4 jobs while you work one job. Put your kids through college. If we got a ticket, if we got a ticket for driving, it put a stain in our bank account. We can't even afford to provide Christmas for our kids. We got to so. It's just hey, bro, don't get me started, man. I'm doing exactly what I said I'm going to do, man. And, people told me, John, there's a better way of going about doing it. Well, I'm doing it this way, and now I'm still being attacked. You know what I mean? Come on now. no matter what you do, you might as well just get right to the meat and potatoes. You don't want black people to have nothing. You want us to be in those old raggedy clothes and pounding cotton some damn where.
Man, that's the truth. And I'm glad that you brought up the fact that you did say that on the Capitol floor in 2016. I want to tell my viewers, the young people who may be watching this, man, there's power in your words. There's power in the tongue. Even the Bible says it, but there's power in your tongue, right? You can speak life and death, literally. You manifested that, brother. So I appreciate you. You know, the ADOS podcast loves and supports you. As we was talking about before we started the podcast, I supported you back then. I supported you during Hugo. And when people ask me, I tell them I'm still supporting John. Why? Because he said what needed to be said when it needed to be said. And he didn't hold his tongue. When a lot of people will get up there and hold their tongue, especially when they're running for office. You got to keep it real all the way through. So let's transition a little bit.
Let's do it.
You're in the seat now. You're in these committees.
We have higher ed committee.
Yep. So I was going to ask you, what committees are you a part of?
Agriculture, finance, health and human services, the mental health division, and I'm also I just was appointed to the Council of African Heritage.
Man, some great things already. Yep. No. Yeah. Yep. That's what it's called.
Yeah, I got a $2 billion ag bill. It's called the Philando Castile Omnibus Package. You go to my bills, you'll see it. This is a $2 billion ag. Well, I'm not asking for reparations. I'm asking for a down payment. So, there's certain things, man, that the state of Minnesota should have been doing. And to be honest with you, like, I'll give you an example of what I'm saying. Contracts and procurement. We should be doing like 30% of contracts and procurement with African American minority owned businesses. Yeah, 1.3%. That makes sense.
Well, run that back for the people that's watching this, because I have this conversation with a lot of my colleagues a lot, and I do contract work with the counties. I do some with the municipal governments here in Minneapolis and in St. Paul. Mm-hmm. So I know the statistics, man. But run that back again for the people that's watching this. Those numbers, that percentage breakdown, because that's ridiculous.
We're supposed to be doing at least 33% of contracts and procurement, meaning that janitor. Or that cleaning company, right? That minority-owned business. They're looking at them and saying, "No, we're gonna give it to our white counterpart." That construction company, that black-owned construction company, they're looking us over. We're supposed to be at 33%. We at like 1.3%, which puts the state at risk of being sued. If people knew what they were doing, you could sue the state of Minnesota for this because you're not in compliance with what you said. You know what I mean? And so that's in my package. Creating pathways to home ownership. I'm tired of making landlords rich, and my community is also. So that's in my package. Philando Castile full service community center, man, with everything that black people need in it, all the resources. Like, we're tired of people making decisions for us without us and then thinking the outcome is for us. That's just not going to work.
Facts.
I'm also working on a qualified immunity package, man. You know that?
Yep.
With Jonathan McCullum. What's that guy, man? I have so many bills. I swear I will call y'all back, man. Everybody's calling once. What else I got? Man, I'm partnering with a powerful brother, Cedric Frazier, on this bill, and it's already been introduced. Where doctors and teachers should not have to use their sick time. If they get sick from COVID, they have to use their sick time, right?
That's
workers' comp should cover that. That's like a no-brainer, right?
That's ridiculous.
But that's not what's happening right now.
Especially if the state's not going to require all schools to go into distance learning. if you're not gonna have any requirements, and you're still gonna, let the decision be up to the school boards or the schools whether or not they want to be open. You got to provide some additional support to the teachers who are going to be in harm's way for this, man. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and a lot of it went on the superintendents. That's some of their policies and the way they wanted to do virtual learning versus in-person learning. So we have to hold those groups accountable as well.
So, if you think about it, brothers, like a lot of the stuff that we don't have is because of legislation, bad legislation. And we watched it. Like if you think about the seat I'm in, this seat was occupied for 22 years uncontested. 22 years uncontested. And I'm not saying anything bad about Tim Mahoney, man. Like I respect Tim Mahoney. As a matter of fact, I need somebody to like walk me through what's going to happen here at the state capitol and like mentor me. And you'd be surprised how much help Representative Mahoney has been for me. And Representative Mahoney is sick too, by the way. I've heard he has cancer. So I want to send prayers to him and his family. But you'd be surprised that like he had to see 22 years uncontested. Also, brothers, even running this campaign, Tim Mahoney has 7,000 people vote for him, meaning that he had a base. He didn't need nobody. Nobody else going to put their name on the ticket. And the same people voted for him over and over and over again, right? I won with 11,000, them to 12,000 votes. I was trying to do 20,000. Just to show you, like the places that they said, don't go there, don't go there, don't go there. These people don't never vote. Well, that's where I went. That's why I went to the black people who they said never voted. Y'all won't get up and vote today because you got somebody on the ticket gonna fight for you. So I went to the people, man, and right now I owe the people. So that's why I'm here in this space, like putting legislation. There's some controversial legislation that I'm putting together, man. But anything black is controversial.
Facts.
Anything that will better the conditions in the black community is always controversial to people who don't want us to do better. So now these conversations be like you can't avoid the conversation now because I'm here. And won't y'all both agree with me? Like I didn't actually come in this space. I kicked the door in. And now I'm gonna hold it open for brothers and sisters to get in.
That's the key right there. Once you kick the door open, it's gonna shut again, and they gonna let you in because you forced your way in there. You gotta put a brick or something and then the middle of the doorway so we can get in too, or open up a window or something so we can come in with you. Just don't get in there and just close the door behind yourself, lock the windows, and say I'm in the house now. I ain't letting nobody else in.
No, we
got some powerful legislators, man. Cedric Frazier's there. Yep. My sister Athena Hollins, man. You got to get Athena on your show, bro. Athena Hollins, me and Athena Hollins were, I was the vice president. She was the president of our district council. And so we like tag teaming, man. Now she's a lawyer too, by the way.
Yep.
Cedric Frazier's a lawyer. Esther Igbaje's a lawyer. Man, we got a bunch of lawyers. Heather Keeler. We got a bunch of powerful freshman legislators, man. You got to get them on the show. I wish we all could just get on at one time, man.
Esther has, you know what? I love that idea. We actually should set that up, Christian.
Yeah, let's do it.
We should set up, the freshman legislators show and do a whole podcast just dedicated to y'all, have y'all all on a Zoom call. I love that. I'm going to steal that idea, Rep Thompson. I got to steal that. But Esther was on the show. I hosted the debate. The
Corona posse.
I hosted the debate over there, man. I'm glad that you connected with them, though, because they are some powerful folks, man. Esther is dope. She definitely was on the show. We did the debate. Man, all those provisions that you just outlined that's in that omnibus bill that you're presenting and that package you're putting together sound like amazing things that a lot of black folks in the state of Minnesota can benefit from, not just over in 67A, but across the state. So I want to just say thank you for putting that together. I know that's not easy, man. It's not easy putting together those types of proposals and speaking on behalf of those things and being intentional about who it's going to support. Black people. That's mad love. For real.
I have a bill called the African American Youth Access Bill, right? And in this package, I'm asking for direct appropriation. remember I talked about how we don't have any, and in all actuality, man, our kids are losing just like the adults. We're losing their lives too. And this package was like to do some. I have some people who have black people who have farms. The Somali community they raise their own cattle, and they have a process what they call the halal process, how they process their meats. Okay, well, you notice that there ain't no black farmers really. Oh, we don't have land like that. I asked Patrice Bailey the other day, how many black farmers? He said we got a few. Well, how about taking 10, 20 kids this summer? Teach them how to process the meat and how to raise cattle, how to milk cow, how to get eggs, teach them to farm and trade, right? Not only may you save a couple of lives, but you're teaching these kids a skill that we've been left out of. There's some kids who dream of being farmers when they, the old McDonald had like at a young age we dream about, but they snatch us right out of that dream. So I'm trying to cover all bases. There's a reason why you'll see many black people on construction sites, on them John Deere tractor trailers. They've taken these career paths out of our schools, especially in high school. When you go to Burnsville or Egan, they got pre-apprenticeship programs. And I keep asking St. Paul and Minneapolis, why is it that you think all our kids want to go to the University of Minnesota, University of anything? Some of our kids want to be carpenters. Some of our kids want to be plumbers. Some of them want to be welders. But you've taken those career pathways. Kids like to touch stuff. We got curriculum from 1989 being taught to our kids right now, man. We're in 2021 right now. So I honestly want to let them know when I was in high school, I had wood shop. We cut open frogs. You know what I mean? We had biology. We had home economics. Y'all have taken all that out of us, and you have to go to Egan to get it. So you've actually created the achievement gap. These kids don't want to be in this building, listen to this white woman talk all day. You know what I mean? It's almost like walking into one of the high schools, any high school, and going into the Black History class and seeing a white woman teacher. Like, how does that work? In every high school. You know what I mean? How does that work? So I want to make sure that they are putting career options back on the plate at a high school level. I used to love woodshop. The only way I can keep going to woodshop is I had to maintain a certain grade point average, which kept me in school, which kept me, interested, because I want to make sure that I play basketball too. So I had to have I had a certain grade point average. There are things that kept me interested in getting good grades also, man. Even no matter how boring these classes were, I knew if I got an F, I wouldn't be able to do certain things. So,
and you know what? You know what that is right there, Brother Thompson? That's accountability, right? That's teachers, coaches, holding kids accountable, saying if you want to do this, you got to have at least a 2.0, a 2.5, whatever the GPA is. You got to meet this standard to participate. I don't even think we have those systems of accountability anymore. It was like that when I was in high school. My brother right now, 16 years old, man, the stories he tell me about his teachers and how they interact with them is ridiculous. I almost want to go up there and have a conversation with the teachers.
You should. You should.
Bro, they're raising felons.
Man.
You know one of the first interactions with child protection services starts from a phone call from the school. School say, oh, this kid, now all of a sudden child protection services snatched this kid up out of the house, sent him to Worthington, Minnesota somewhere where his parents can't see him no more. And all of a sudden you created it. Every aspect, bro. That's the new way to enslave black kids now too, is DPS. It's sizing these kids up in their jumpsuits in kindergarten.
Man.
It's sizing them up. When you the kindergartners can be suspended.
Yep.
Like, what world do we live in, man? I've never met a kindergartner who I can look at a kid a certain way, man, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna straighten up. In kindergarten, that comes from not having culturally specific, culturally competent teachers. These white people teaching and all that. And I'm not racist, bro. Like, I'm not gonna keep on trying to. I don't have to say I'm not racist because I got white friends. I don't do that. I let them do that. I'm not racist because I got black neighbors. I don't have to do that. Like, I'm really not racist. But I do know that I can't go into Caesar Chavez Road and say, I'm to help all the people in this community. They'll kick my butt out of that community. You don't know nothing about our culture. Are you Hispanic? Are you Mexican? Are you Latino? What are you? Man, you know what I mean? But everybody gets to come to our community and do studies on us, and they know what we need. We know what we need. We need more black teachers, more black administrators, more black principals. We need more black mental health providers. We know what we need. Y'all know what we need.
Mm-hmm. Give it to us, or we're gonna take it.
And to add to that, you know, I'm just thinking about the hands-on experience that you talked about. On average, our community are very hands-on with things. So we may not be the most technically sound, but when it comes to like building and operating physically, we can do anything, you know? So it's like we can't take that away and say and put all these kids in one room and say you have to learn how to do this way. You know, part of the reason why I think that a lot of our community loves sports is because of how hands-on and proactive and energetic people get to be as they participate in these hands-on activities. So what you're working on is fantastic, and we support you here at the ADOS podcast, and you know that.
Yeah, when you're having these hearings,
some of the bills that I've co-authored or co-signed on to, man.
I will.
It had to have that. It had to have that. That racial equity lens.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing comes through my office that doesn't have that in it. I won't even look at it. I won't even meet with you. Matter of fact, anybody I meet with, I pretty much ask the question, like, what's in it for black people? I don't ask it in that bold tone because people are intimidated by me. Sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes that's a bad thing. But I do ask about us. Like, I don't want us ever left out of the conversation. And as long as I'm in office, like, I don't know if y'all can tell, man, but I'm black. Like, I have never been no other.
We didn't notice here. Yeah, I couldn't.
I ain't never been nothing but this color my entire life. And so I honestly know that if I don't speak for us, who will? You know what I mean? And I'm tired of being on the menu. I'm at the table now, bro. Like, I'm at the table right now. And so I want to offer you this also, too, man. Utilize my office while I'm here, man. You know, I have to do this again in 2 years. Utilize my office while I'm here and push things that make sense for our community, man. They put the perfect two people together. Me and Jason, man, are like good trouble mixed in a pot. Oh, man. So they put the perfect two people. That's my legislative aide, too, Jason Chavez. Like, we're like,
well, hold on, brother Thompson. You can't mention Jason without letting the people know. Hey, shout out to Jason Chavez. He's running for city council over in Ward 9. I believe that's the ward. I believe it's Ward 9. We support Jason here. Jason's a good friend of mine. I know he's going to do great things for the residents over in Ward 9 and for the city of Minneapolis. Shout out Jason Chavez. You can continue, sir. My bad. I had to do that.
Jason's on the front line. You know that? Jason's on the front line every time there's direct action. Not afraid, unapologetic, and my brother. You know, so I respect Jason. And he doesn't just like fight for like one person. Jason fights for everybody. You know that? Like, and I mean that. And he's been at it here at the state capitol for a while, so he knows his way around this building. But like, man, Jason's like a breath of fresh air for me, you know, because some things I don't know, but Jason does. You know, I'm a freshman legislator.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like on the go learning some stuff, you know. But Jason makes my job so much easier, man. I'm so honored to have him. And so, yes, y'all support Jason, man. He's running for city council in Minneapolis. I think he'd be a great asset to that body over in Minneapolis.
Absolutely. So we gonna wrap it up here soon. I got one question. I know Christian got something he want to ask. I'll let Christian ask his one question first if you got it already on top of your head. If not, I can ask mine.
Yep. No, I got one. So you probably don't know this, but I am a former candidate for city council in Apple Valley. And I just wanted to thank you. So it's more of a comment. I just wanted to thank you that we could have these political conversations and get to the grassroots of a lot of these issues. So I really love when you were talking about voting and, you know, how many votes that you wanted to get. I lost my election with 5,000 votes, which was a lot to me. you know, and I lost to the incumbents who's been doing it since the 80s and the 90s, and they've ran unopposed for the past years that they, you know, got into that office seat. So I just wanted to admire when you said that really resonated with me. And I went back to my own campaigning experience and was like, wow, you know, I just have to get ready for the next election, because in order for me to get through that door, I can't stop. I have to keep going. So every 2 years there's something going on. Just know I'll be involved.
Hey, bro, I want to tell you something. A little bit of advice for anybody running for office. Like, don't listen to people telling you. If somebody tell you not to go somewhere, go there. When they tell you that's where the vote's at. And I tell you one thing they should have never taught us, man. They should have never taught us how to win elections. They coming up out of some of them seats. They coming up out of some of them seats. You know, we got the formula now. You know, and it's just gonna build. Like, I'm showing people exactly what I do. I'm not. It's not a secret. Like, we need people who are not afraid to have these conversations. The people that should be afraid of the people that have been occupying these seats for so long uncontested. They should be very afraid. They should be afraid of me and people like me, because we're coming for those seats. So I'll tell you this, running against an incumbent, man, you got to hit everybody. You cannot leave one stone unturned.
Not at all.
You got to go to every last door and knock every last door. I mean, knock every last door. You'd be surprised. Wait till you talk to Athena Holland. Athena Hollins lost her, she was running against John Lesh. Athena Hollins lost the DFL endorsement. She didn't win the endorsement, so she was ready to quit. I called her like, sis, we need you. Don't quit. And she was like, I don't know. I think I'm just going to. She got rid of her campaign manager. Man, you should see how she whooped him. You should see how Athena Hollins won. She's our new legislator in my neighborhood, 65B. But she's, man, every time somebody say her name, I just smile. Like, you took out a powerhouse, by the way. John Lesh been in this seat, and he, man.
For a minute.
So, bro, you have to hit every door.
Good minute.
Yeah.
You got to hit every door. You got to get on their nerves. Like, I used to make phone calls, and people be like, Mr. Thompson, I voted for you already, but if you don't stop calling me.
You got to keep doing it.
I'm texting, I'm calling, I'm knocking, texting, calling, knocking. Like, I'm everybody. Everybody, not just this list of people who you don't have to pay $600 for this doggone van. Hey, that list is cool, but if you're not getting out there, man, and getting to the people who are not on that list, you're probably not gonna beat an incumbent.
Mm-hmm. And especially when you got wards.
I have people tell me I wasn't gonna win. Mr. Thompson, you're not gonna win. You're not ready. Somebody told me you need to work on a couple of campaigns before you put your name down. You'd be surprised if I go to Washington in 2 years. You'd be surprised, right?
Oh, I wouldn't be. I can see it. I can feel it. And you know what? You hit on the key part. You just got to talk to people that don't participate or haven't participated in the past. Because guess what? People are not reaching out to them, man. You got some wards. I'm gonna highlight Ward 5. I do a lot of research in Ward 5 in Minneapolis. The last election was at 2017. The candidate won with like 2,800 something votes. He won by like 500 votes. I'm gonna tell you how many people came out and participated. I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna be surprised. You're gonna want to drop the pen again and pick it up and drop it again. 4,700 people out of a neighborhood, an area, a ward where there's about 18,000. Hear me right, 18,000 eligible voters. 18,000 eligible voters. Only 4,700 people came out to participate, and they consider that a high turnout year. So before I go off on this, I'm going to say one thing because I'm going to go off on a tangent because it makes my blood boil. Seriously. Why isn't the DFL saying we got to do more voter engagement, more voter outreach in these types of wards where there's voter suppression? There's lack of information about what's going on, and we giving the information to certain people who going to already come out and vote. The people that 4,700 people are the people who are showing up to these city council meetings. They're showing up to these hearings. They're showing up and they protesting. They know what's going on in the community. What about the people that can't make it? What about the mom and the dad who got to work 2-3 jobs to put food on the table and they can't show up to a hearing? They don't know what's happening in the community because they just don't have the access to it or the resources. And we got a digital divide over north and in other areas in our cities. Why isn't the DFL doing something about that, brother?
My advice to the DFL party, man, and I have some very longtime friends, and I've built relationships with DFLers that people who are involved in the DFL, Corey Day and Ron Harris, Hollis Winston. I built relationships with those people, man, and these are my brothers. I'm going to tell you this: Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, they said it best. Like, that's the DFL's last hope. Black people start flipping Republican. Like, that's your last hope, man. Like, DFL got to get post George Floyd, post this Capitol insurrection. Black people showed up in Atlanta. Stacey Abrams got us out there to vote and get, like, this is the DFL's last chance to show black people. I mean, like, this is y'all last chance. Black people gonna start their own party or flip Republican. And this is the like, bro, I would never lie to you, man. I love y'all. This is my straight up truth. Y'all know I'm telling the truth.
Oh, always.
DFL got like one last chance, bro. Biden and Harris. After that, I don't think if we don't see no changes, and I'm talking about systematic and structural change within our party, this party, bro, black people are not going to support the Democratic Party too much longer, man. Like, how long do you expect us to, like, get nothing? So I have this conversation. If I would have this conversation with Ken Martin, but I'd also like to help this party, like, become more diverse and competent on what our communities need. The DFL picks these, not only the DFL, but these elected seats. They love these cookie cutters, man, who've never been through nothing. I'd rather pick the brother who's been in the back of the police car.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, at least he knows exactly what, you know what I mean? Come on now. But you pick these cookie cutters. Some of them got 4-year degrees and stupid. Some of them dumping in a box of rocks, but got a lambskin from a prestigious historic black college. And a lot of college debt. So, but they pick these cookie cutters who ain't never been through nothing. The Anton Melton Mutes type. They pick these guys right here, man, and think that they'll be somebody who'll speak for us. And I ain't gonna say no names because I got black brothers in office right now, man, who shuck and jive like George Jefferson. In mayors of the entire city. 4 years you've given us not a damn thing. I ain't say no names. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you ain't gotta say no names. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm just saying, though. They're partnering with Jacob Fry over there, Chuck Dive, dance. And when it comes to black people, let's have a conversation about that. Let's talk about it. We can't, but we voted for you, brother, because we thought you were gonna be our voice.
Man,
you're not our voice. You interested in being a superstar. Here I am, bro. I'm still pissed about that. I'm the first African American ever in this seat. Ever. My own brother wouldn't even call me and say congratulations. And you supported my opponent, by the way. You wouldn't even call me and say congratulations. First black mayor. Beat your feet on the concrete, man. Like, I'll say that to like, I'm not saying no names. Y'all know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, we know.
We
talked about it before. We talked about it before.
You won't even call me, bro. Like, I'm your brother. You won't even like, look at me and turn his mouth up, man. Like, come on, man. So just remember, some skin folks ain't our kin folk.
Man,
it's look good on camera.
Hey, I say that often on the 8 Hours podcast, bro, because we got to hold our people accountable too. The last thing I want to say, man, it's a question for you. Would you rather be loved or respected?
Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, list of others, man, have done exactly what I'm doing right now. White people hated them and black people. They'll love me when I'm dead. Right now, I just want to be respected. Right now, I just want to be exactly what I say I want to see. Like, I want to be that. I want my son to see this. It's going to be a book. Like, this book ain't even been written yet. It's going to be a book, man. Like, this journey. Because I want my son and his friends, and I want your nephews and your little young cousins to see that it's something we can do whatever the hell we want to do. I ain't never been a legislator in my life. Never thought about it. I used to think the state capitol was a museum. Here I am, a state legislator on the go. I passed bills. I passed bills and I proposed bills to legislation, but I never in a million years thought I'd be one. I just get sick and tired of these people like treat me like I'm complaining. And so I'd rather be respected. Just to answer your question, I'd rather be respected. They'll love me when I'm dead and gone. You know, that's we just had Martin Luther King's birthday and everybody loved and everybody got something to say positive about King when he was here. They nigga, if you don't get your you know what I mean? Like, you know, when he was here, nobody loved. Even black people. Malcolm X, black people got him killed. Now they love him. Malcolm X is this, that, this, you know. So, bro, this is what I was called to do, man. And I promise you I'm gonna die doing this work right here. Somebody may take me out. But this is what I'll be doing until I die. Is working for the ADOS community. Not only like, bro, to be clear, not only just us. Like, I have a heart, bro. I know that's the Somali community, man. Like, y'all have no, people say, well, the Somalis moved up there and they started this and they started that, but they got brothers and sisters in the Somali community who are being targeted right now. Mm-hmm. You know, even in the Hmong community, we had a very diverse East Side, right? So even in the Hmong community, man, they're looking at these young Hmong kids. You know, they mimic what they see. They pants sagging. You know, some of these kids that had their pants sagging, man, got a 3.5 GPA. My son wears sag his pants right now. Been on the honor roll every year since he's been in, and I wish he would bring something other than an A to my house. You know what I mean? And so these Rumpelstiltskin pants wearing kids do their style, man, and leave them alone. Stop tagging and targeting them. But bro, just to answer your question, so we can get off, man, I'd rather be respected than loved. My kids love me.
I love that response, Brother Thompson. I love that response. Like our sister Leslie Resman says, and build the brand off of. Don't complain, activate. You feel me?
Hey, I love Leslie.
And shout out to Leslie Resman, man, former NAACP president for the Minneapolis chapter. Good sister. We got to get Leslie on the show too. We gonna work on that, Christian.
Hey, shameless plug. Leslie Redman's clothing can be found in the Maplewood Mall at the pop-up shop my sister Marsha has called Bread. Y'all need to go check the Bread, that pop-up shop. Not only does bread mean something to me, but her son Aniki makes these ice cream bow ties. Mm-hmm. Man, hold on. You got to see this, bro. I know y'all got to get out of here. I got to get out of here too. Her son made me this. Bow tie.
Oh, dude, that's dope.
That is cool.
Made out of Legos. It's my favorite color too.
That's dope.
That's a dope tie,
man. That's skill right there, man. And I was at the pop-up shop yesterday. They have an event going on this weekend. Actually, I bought some stuff from Q over at the Movement, the Movement lifestyle brand. Malik Curtis with Lord Season. And my brother Kamari Davis with Health is Wealth. So it's a lot of great small businesses there, clothing brands there. They even got a brother in there selling artwork, man. So yes, go check out the Maplewood Mall. Bread is the name of the store. They got pop-up shops and something happening every day of the week. Go check them out. Thank you for reminding me of that. Brother Thompson, I appreciate you. I know Christian appreciates you.
Yeah, and we love and respect you here. So,
hey, Christian, put your name back on that ballot, man. I'm going to support you out there in Apple Valley.
Yeah. Thank you. I had some endorsements but they don't support municipal. Some endorsements told me that straight up. So we'll talk. We'll definitely talk and keep in touch.
Hey, brothers, I love y'all, man. Anytime you want me on this show, man, it'll be an honor. You don't have to schedule it. John, I need you here. I'll be there. Give me a day notice. I'll be there.
Yes, sir. And this was kind of last minute. I think I called you a couple of days ago. And you was like, oh, man, I got to come back on the show. I'm like, well, what you doing this weekend? Hey, I love you, brother John. I'm going to talk to you soon, man.
Peace.
Peace, yo.
Everyone that was our brother, someone that we support completely, 100% here on the ADOS podcast, Representative John Thompson for 67A. He's doing a lot of great things. I'm looking forward to reading more about the proposals that he's coming up with this omnibus bill that he's putting together right now. I know some of those provisions that he mentioned is going to really support our community. That was great. I know John's going to do some great things.
Yeah, and if you're on the east side, reach out. That's all it takes is a phone call. So if you're over on the east side of St. Paul and you know some people who's connected to John, go check out some of these bills and some of the work he's doing.
And call that brother. He'll answer. Send him an email. He'll get back to you. And if he don't get back to you, I know it's L.A. Jason Chavez will. They're good people over there. Rest in peace to Cicely Tyson.
Yes.
I wanted to start off the show with that, but I couldn't let myself forget. And I know we talked about it before we got on the show. Man.
Powerful sister. The longevity of her life and her career. And, I'm 25 years old. I first... got familiar with Cicely watching a Tyler Perry film. And I was like, who is this woman? And then, I just fell in love from that point on. So rest in peace. You will be missed and loved. And happy Black History Month. Happy Black History Month as we kick it off. And I got to remind y'all, it's Black History Month for me all the time. 12 months, 365. I celebrate Black History. I know, Christian, you do the same. Of course.
But love on your people this month, man. Love on some Black people this month more than you did last month. Seriously. And a lot of our Black folks are dying. A lot of our business owners, a lot of our actors, a lot of our athletes, a lot of influential people in our community are dying, man. It's really sad. So love on Black people while they're here. Give them their roses while they're here.
Give them the roses.
This was an amazing show. I'm glad we had Brother John on. Remember to reach out to him. Go check out the Maplewood store. Go to Maplewood and check out Bread. We got to highlight Black businesses. I'm wearing actually a local brand right now for my brother Nehemiah Thomas. Go check him out on Instagram. Very comfortable sweater. I got the sweatpants to match, but I decided to throw on a pair of comfortable jeans today. But man, support our Black businesses right now, especially during this time of COVID-19, where we need to make sure that a lot of our brothers and sisters have a way to eat, especially a lot of our entrepreneurs. Christian, you got anything you want to wrap up? You want to say?
That concludes episode 2.
Remember to like us on our Facebook page at the 8 Eyes Podcast. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel at the 8 Eyes Podcast. Follow us on Instagram, and also check out our other platforms. We're on Apple Music. We're on Spotify. We're on every major streaming platform that's out there. Please support our podcast, guys. We love and appreciate y'all. I'm your co-host, Elijah Norris Holiday.
And I'm your co-host, Christian.
And we gone.